SubZero, one of the strongest MK11 characters, apparently got nerfed in NRS new title Mortal Kombat 1. And in today's video, we're going to talk about all the interesting changes and details about SubZero's design in Mortal Kombat 1. And of course, we're going to compare him to his current state in MK11. The decision-making behind taking a closer look at SubZero's frame specifically is because right now, in the current state of Mortal Kombat 11, SubZero is by far the most successful character in our competitive events. And if you're here for the first time and want to know what we exactly do at Rips Arena, feel free to subscribe to the channel because currently we are the biggest competitive league event for Mortal Kombat games in general, with more than $60,000 paid out to the players and live events here on YouTube every single day. So thanks for being here, but now Abel, let's get right into the details.
Alright Rips, let's get right into the details. But before we get started, let's have a first look at how SubZero is right now in MK11 and what makes him strong. I mean, of course, we all know SubZero. He won many tournaments back in the days as well in the arena. I mean, we all know this character. We all love and have a hate relationship at the same time with him. But let's talk about it. I mean, MK11 SubZero, his stagger game. I mean, Rips, you know the best. It is phenomenal, almost not reactable. His buttons are just so oppressive and you cannot react in time and you always get opened up by him. And of course, the biggest thing, his overhead and his low mix-up. It is an unseeable overhead, and combine it with a pretty good low that is at 13 frames that almost counts like a really good mid in this game. It is just astronomically good. And also, adding to that, his grab mix, I mean, come on. He is, for a reason, top 5 in this game currently. And the biggest question you guys ask yourself, is SubZero still as strong in MK1 as he is in MK11? I mean, we have the answer for you guys. Let's have a look. And after seeing all the new gameplay and footage, and also screenshots, we now can take a closer look on how SubZero changes between those two games. And I think there is no better way to start with this screenshot right here from MK11 that shows the SubZero overhead. I mean, we see it right here, the double X slam, forward to input, startup 19 frames, is active for 3 frames, and is -6 on block. The minus frames don't really matter right now because SubZero, of course, can cancel that into a special that either gives him a full combo or keeps him safe. So he has those two options. But now the interesting thing is, if we take a look at this screenshot right here, thank you, by the way, for Justin Wong providing us with frame data, also from SubZero. I think it's the only character we have frame data from. We see a startup of 24 frames, and that's a huge difference, as I said before. 24 frames, easily reactable in an online environment, even if the ping is a bit higher. But not only that, the move is -23, so if you go for forward 2, you already commit on being punishable. It doesn't matter if you go for forward 2 into a special move, back 2, sorry, because in the new game it's the back to input. It doesn't matter if you go into a back to special input or something, because you will put yourself in a minus situation where you get punished. There is a little way around it. We have a clip about that as well. But yeah, let's go over the other frame. We have active frames for 23 frames. And now you're asking yourself, why is it active for so long? Because the back 2 input is actually a 2 hitting string, so that's why it's active so long. Has huge recovery, so if a SubZero whiffs it, you have no problem with punishing it. Has big hit advantage because the new back 2, you will see combos later, has a huge pop-up where you get air combos and all that kind of stuff, and swag as well. That's the thing that is SubZero, in my opinion, MK1 more. We go into details for that later as well. But yeah, -23 on block, so SubZero now is actually taking a risk, not like an MK11 he is.
But before we show you guys a very, very interesting clip of SubZero in Mortal Kombat 1, we want to say, as always, that all this has been recorded with a pre-alpha stage of the game. That means nothing is final yet, everything can still change. But what we know for sure is that this is definitely going to be the direction NRS wants to go into the full release of the game. And for that reason, Avel, talk us through the details.
All right, a little cool detail we have for you guys in just one moment. We want to talk about, again, the overhead mix, because that's the big thing about Mortal Kombat 11 SubZero, his overhead mix, because it is so oppressive and it goes through every defense a player has. I mean, the greatest defensive players shattered on SubZero, and let's talk about it a little bit, because to this state of the game of MK11, SubZero on paper has a safe overhead low mix if you mix it with the right special moves. And even though, don't freak out, I say it right now, you can kind of have the same thing in MK1. Because if we take a look at the clip right here, that, by the way, thank you to Ketchup and Mustard for providing it, you can definitely see that you can somehow make your back two, or let's say overhead mix, safe with the cameo character. Because as you see, they bring out Kano, because in MK1 you can delay some certain moves of your cameo fighter, and right here it's Kano's Kano Ball. And the thought behind this play right here is, if the back two connects, you just cancel the cameo, because you can somehow cancel cameos as well. We saw that in the frame data, but don't take my word on that. But if it doesn't hit, you just release it and keep yourself safe with the Kano Ball move. So there is still some kind of way to make your overhead mix safe. But now the big thing is, guys, should SubZero's even still go for that play? Because we talk about a 24 frame startup move that is easy reactable, even in an online environment. Is it still the best option to go for? Do you really want to spend that half cameo bar just to keep your overhead safe? That might not even connect because people will react now. Is it even a good option now? Could you not go for other buttons as well? And we will talk about the other buttons later on as well, because they are really good. But on that note, I think it's a cool option you have, but it might not be the best option you should go for in MK1.
So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how resource-heavy SubZero in Mortal Kombat 1 is going to be, especially with the new cameo system, the new way meta works as well. Avel, do you really think SubZero might be weaker compared to the MK11 version?
I mean, there is definitely a big difference in the gameplay style SubZero will have in MK1. We said it before, MK11 SubZero, heavy Punisher character with his slide as well. He keeps the slide, by the way, guys. It's still a good punishing move. It's still fast. But other than that, he kind of loses his mix-up games. But SubZero in MK1, I think, will become more of a style character, because we already see from gameplay footage he has awesome combos, right? We're probably going to show some right here on screen, and you can see it for yourself. It is just gorgeous what they did with this game. He gets his ice clone back, so you have a little mind game with that as well, but it's not as good as the previous titles as well, because it disappears really fast. So it is a good get out move and keep yourself safe, while the opponent needs to think about how to engage you and how to play around that ice clone as well. But other than that, I mean, he will still be a strong character. Will he be like MK11? Not even close in my opinion, because his game style changed so much.
Avel, you mentioned the slide of SubZero might be weaker in Mortal Kombat 1. I saw a little of gameplay footage. To me personally, it still looked super quick, and it still seems to be a great Punisher. So maybe you can point that out real quick.
I mean, we still will see random slides in neutral, because that's how SubZero Slide works in general, right? He wants to condition you in neutral for you not making too many movements. And I kind of like the idea about that, because he's a freeze character as well, right? But the biggest difference is SubZero Slide now, you saw the animation as well. He kind of brings out a spear and smacks you down to the ground and pins you there for good Oki. In MK11, it's not like that, because in MK11, as the footage you see right here, you can actually meterless combo from it, and that's a huge advantage to MK11 right there. And Sub losing that as well, it kind of hurts the character.
Of course, all that is speculation at this point, but Avel, after reviewing the footage now, do you really think that an OG character like SubZero might end up being weaker than expected in MK1?
I don't think he's a weak character in MK1, Rips. If we compare him to MK11 SubZero though, I think he's a weak character. Yeah, in my opinion, MK11 SubZero is one of the strongest characters we have ever seen with that mix as well, right? And in terms of MK1, I think SubZero is a pretty good character. I mean, there's still some downsides, right? The Ice Ball not comboing anymore, that's a huge factor. But he also got a lot of new things. I mean, we can see it in the screenshot right here. He has a new mid move. It is forward 1, 12 frame startup mid, which is pretty good. -4 as well, so you have a pretty decent new button right there. He keeps his OG low, I would say, right? The low starter, so SubZero still has his mixed game, right? But it is just a bit more reactable. But yeah, he still keeps all his things. And even the low starter, you can even combo from it when you use your cameo, as you can see in the clip right here. Even though, as you can already see in this clip right here, you need to commit to the cameo always if you want to combo, because where you can see Kano runs out and throws his knife, it is really early in the string, so every time you do the string into the cameo, you gotta commit to it. And that's the big thing about the new SubZero as well. Since Ice Ball does not combo anymore, you need to use his new move called Ice Vapor, and essentially it is just a move that SubZero spawns like icicle from under you, and if you amplify it, you get a combo from it. If you don't amplify it, you just do a little bit damage. But if you amplify it, you get a big combo as well, 30%, flashy, all those kind of things, with a big ender, corner carry, all those things. That's the new SubZero, in my opinion. Flashy combos, corner carry, into setups, into the ice clone. So yeah, he will definitely be a good character in MK1, but not better than MK11 SubZero.
So as a summary, we can definitely see that NRS listened closely to the complaints of the community, who always got hit by that unreactable mix, and we expect a lot of changes in MK1 for that character. So as a little summary here in the end, a lot seems to be different while still keeping that old school SubZero flavor going. I can't wait to see how all this is gonna turn out in the end, especially after seeing the rest of the cast in action as well, Abel.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, SubZero, in my opinion, nice changes they made to him, right? Everything we didn't like about, as well SubZero mates as well, didn't like about him in MK11. They kind of listened to the community and to the character loyalists, and they made the character fun again. They made him flashy again. They made him nice to watch, you know? It's something that is really, really lovely to see from NetherRealm as well. And I mean, we have a funny clip right here, Rips, on what potential SubZero has in the new game, and it just looks hilarious. And yeah, I can't wait for the release of this game. But to make a little conclusion, is SubZero nerfed? On paper, yes, when you compare him to MK11. But would we say we take those traits for having a character that is actually watchable again? I would say yes, Rips.
I would agree. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more of those kind of conversations, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and we're gonna see you in the next one.